Welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth here at the U.S. Black Chamber's annual event from Dallas, Texas. Tell us your name.
My name is Charles O'Neill.
Charles O'Neill.
Almost tell you the disgruntled Charles O'Neill, because when we did this at last year's School of Chamber Management, I have yet to see the video.
It's up there.
I'm certain that it is.
The whole world is seeing. You saw a picture of Mr. Personality. You told us we better come to Texas.
That's correct.
This year, beautiful venue. Tell us about it. Your thoughts.
Well, yeah, clearly we are the U.S. Black Chambers, and what we do is support our work to develop, expand everything we can do to improve opportunities and the bottom lines of African American owned businesses. One of the things we've always talked about doing is bringing our events or hosting our events at African American owned venues. You couldn't find a better example. 1,175 rooms, 42 suites.
Do you know that there are people here in Washington, D.C. who do not know it is black owned?
Well, they'll know after this
I'm
week.
here to tell you.
Yes, sir. They'll know after this week. I hope.
They will.
But no, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful deal, and it's only the beginning, because other organizations have joined us and made commitments to moving their events to African American owned venues. So now, this one event has spurred activity that will rain out across the country. Black hoteliers and motel operators, everything.
What else has happened in the past year that you want to brag on?
While I'm almost reflexing to say, well, I made it, you know. But what has happened is the commitment and the joining of efforts from organizations like ours and those 110 chambers across the nation that USBC represents on the national level. The commingling of concerns and issues and the concerted activities to address the challenges that our members, that is African American owned businesses, face on a daily basis, and come up with solutions. Access to capital. We're working on solutions for that and hope to make announcements about it this week. Access to opportunity. We will have 16 federal agencies, 14 state and other governmental agencies here, plus area corporations and national corporations here to meet with business owners on Thursday in contacts to contracts. So we're not just talking about those opportunities, but we're bringing those folks with opportunities to African American business owners here at this conference.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question because I just don't know. My visits to the West, to the Midwest, very limited. I know the energy here on the East Coast as it relates to black business, minority business. What is the climate like for black folk in Texas, on the West Coast, when it comes to the topic of black business, minority business?
Now, I do live in Texas, as we said, but I'd like to preface any discussion about black business like this. If you're between the Atlantic and the Pacific, you got a pretty good idea how it is. If it's bad on the East Coast, it's bad on the West Coast. What is different, I think, and again, occasions like this that we get to talk makes it improve for everybody. But the difference is we're working on the issue, and we get to see what has not worked in other markets and try to not make those kind of, and I won't say missteps, but amend, improve, all right, those things that we have seen come before. You know?
The economy turning around, getting better.
Texas' global economy is great. African Americans do okay in the major metropolitan areas: Dallas, Houston, Fort Worth area, San Antonio, perhaps. The capital is also not doing so well, but it's a great business environment for those folks who have real skills and a real desire to be successful. Texas will be the blackest state in the union before the next census. The largest black population among the 50 states will be Texas,
All right, so
which means that opportunities will be a function of that.
So that's a great segue to my final question is, what can we do to better prepare our young people so that in 10, 15, 20 years, they'll be at these chamber meetings, they get it, they have hands-on experience. How do we get the message that entitlement is not going to work for them, that they actually have to work, as our parents raised us, 2, 3, 4, 5 times as hard as the counterparts?
This is an O'Neillism that I give you. Have to is different from want to. If you catch somebody saying, man, I sure would like to, he ain't getting ready to do nothing. But when he say, I got to do this, everything changes.
How do we get that over? How do we parlay that to our children? How do we make them hungry? They seem entitled, comfortable, not willing to bust.
Is this a family show?
No profanity.
Well, we must stress to them how critical it is that they use all of the energies and all of the opportunities to execute for our future. You know, we can, if we can convince them that we can, and buttress it by telling them that we must. We got to show.
I got to tell you that since our last talk with you, we've been taking our business networking event to Black Wall Street, New York, Atlanta. We want to come your way to Texas. And more than anything, while we do give away awards, we just want to spread the history of a Black Wall Street, not just in Tulsa, but I'm sure in Texas. There were black towns where we had to shop. We couldn't go to other places.
Absolutely.
And we just want to encourage people to support each other.
That's the deal.
$1 trillion, that's how much we have. Annual disposable income.
That's a fair amount of money.
How can people get in touch with you, Mr. O'Neil?
www.strategicbiz.com or Facebook, Charles O'Neil.
Good stuff. We appreciate it. And you're looking dapper, too,
man, bless your
from
heart,
head to toe. All right, man. Keep watching Be More News. We appreciate you, Mr. McNeil.
All right.
The news before the news, where we uncover the truth.